Yo, how you doing, home ziggity zog? Today, in this video, right now, I will show you how I made the beat for Bands by Bardi, since he was quite persistent in our DMs. Firstly, audio clips. I used a sample from an unreleased Lil Mosey song labeled Whole Lotta Cash. With the effects on, it sounds like so. All I did to affect this, again, said audio clip, was increase the volume and add an EQ with the low shelf. Next, onto patterns. I have two hi-hat patterns. One is a simple one-step hi-hat, and then the second pattern has 1, 2, 3 cuts with 2 rolls. I just wanted a different groove, a different drive, a different bounce. Also, I wanted the listener to hear or feel something different but not quite know what it is. Just give a different vibe every 4 or 8 bars. This is the bouncy hat pattern. And this is the one-step hat pattern. Very simple, very easy. And then I added an open hat. Snare. A kick pattern. And what I changed about the kick was, again, increase the volume. I did not adjust the ADSR. I adjusted the piano roll velocity. And mixing wise, low shelf at around 80 hertz. And I know adding a patcher is unconventional instead of converting the kick into a single mono channel, but just to be sure, to be double safe, I added a patcher, presets, filter, mid-side EQ, and I removed the side EQ, so the only frequencies coming through are the mid mono frequencies. And then, since this kick was clipping and slightly distorted and louder than quote unquote the peak of the track, I routed to another channel whilst disconnecting from the master, and I added a soft clipper default settings onto the now routed kick. The final pattern is the 808 pattern, and I know some producers don't show their 808 patterns. Personally, I just don't care, but the 808. Again, I adjusted the volume of the 808. I adjusted the ADSR to change the 808 from a louder, bassy, quote-unquote wider sound into a transient, slap, very quick sound. I'll show you the difference. Very distorted, and now it's supposed to hit harder. The initial transient is louder with the envelope due to the ADSR settings. And I adjusted the piano roll volume as well. By the way, Nick Mira said it best. Producers, tune your 808s.
Producers, tune your 808s?
The best way to tune your 808s as a producer is to follow the fucking root notes of the progression. And the sample progression is literally as follows. I am not joking. Please, for the love of God, put your 808s in scale, but also in tune. I added a clap on the 2 and 4 of each bar. I adjusted the EQ balance negative 100% as shown here. Second snare, I believe. Third snare. The first MIDI, the first flute pattern is from the JV, which is like so. Personally, I don't like this pattern, but I thought it fit the original audio clip well. The only adjustment, boosting the volume and adding a, again, low shelf at around 81 hertz. This is the first chord progression, also from the JV, and this sound specifically is very big, very wide, very sparkly texture sprinkle on top of the cake. This gives the space vibe that I felt. This sound, again, coming from the JV, is a pad sound that follows literally the exact same progression. And I forgot to mention, both of these sounds also have a low shelf and a low shelf. The pad is stereo separated the same as the original sample, and the texture is stereo separated at 100% because I felt that sound specifically needed to take up as much of the stereo field as possible. Last but definitely not least, I have a sub bass coming from 3x, 3 times, whatever you want to label, title, call it, etc. Again, follows the chord progression. Producers, tune your bass, please. And that is all. I did add a volume automation, simply a swell up and a swell down at the beginning and end of the song, both respectively. I panned the upper treble left. The open hat is panned more than the hi-hat, and I took 2 snares and panned right. I believe this is the clap. The clap, obviously, center, can be panned however one pleases, but I believe the clap is center, the third snare, the actual third snare is centered, and the accent and or background snares are panned right. Both very close in terms of percent panned right, but that is everything that I can deconstruct, and this is the final beat. I hope you enjoyed my deconstruction. If I need to put more energy into my next one, I most definitely will. But if this stays in the video, follow me on all my socials at ProdPaw across all platforms, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, on the Hub. That's not going in. What am I saying?